I'm going to show you how to knit the Chinese wave stitch hat. Hey, it's Denise from LoomaHat.com. For more information and a list of supplies, visit the website or see the description below. Alright guys, let's begin. I'm going to be using an even number loom. You can use one such as this one here. This is 42 pegs. This one's 41. And things will change here at the last peg. But don't get distracted by this loom. I will guide you along the pattern on where you need to do things differently. Secure the yarn to the anchor peg. I'm going to be doing a simple knot. You can do a slip knot. And then you're going to take the working yarn and put it between the first and last peg. You can go to the left, I'm going to the right, and then we're going to wrap every peg. After that, take the working yarn to peg 1 and you're going to half wrap that peg. This is called a U-wrap knit stitch. And take your hook and knit off. So bring the loop from the bottom up and knit off. And you're going to continue to do that same thing on all of your pegs. You're going to knit the row. Once you knit off that last peg, you're done with your cast on and we're ready for rows 1 through 7 where we'll do a knit 1, purl 1. If your loom is an odd number loom, then that last peg you will purl every time for rows 1 through 7. For the knit 1, again you're going to half wrap the peg and knit off. You're using the U-wrap. And for the purl, you're going to bring your working yarn down below the existing loop and you're going to take your hook, scoop up that yarn, and you're going to create a new loop right here. This is your old loop. And you're going to take that off the peg, take the new loop, put it on the peg, and pull. That's your purl and 1. Well, purl 1. Now you're going to continue knit 1, and here again we're going to do that purl 1. So on that existing loop, go ahead and scoop up and create a new one. You're then going to take off the old loop right here and put the new loop on and pull, and repeat that until you've done all of your pegs. Odds, don't forget the extra purl. On the last peg. Keep going because you need 7 rows. After a few rows, go ahead and remove the knot from the anchor peg. Once you finish the 7 rows of the knit 1, purl 1, you're ready for row 8. And for this one, you're going to E-wrap the row. So this is a different version of the knit stitch. Just like the cast on, what you're going to do is you're going to wrap all of your pegs. So you come from behind and wrap. And just continue until you've done every one of your pegs. Are all wrapped, and just like you did with the cast on, we're going to go ahead and knit off every peg. Best thing to do is the last one that you wrapped, that's the first one you knit off, and then just continue on the row. Next, we're going to go to row 9, and I need you to pay close attention. We're going to do a purl one, which you guys already know how to do, and then the next stitch is a slip one with yarn in front. Sounds more difficult than it is, but there is more than one way of doing it. So here's your purl one. You're going to scoop up, create the new loop, take the old one off, put the new one on, and pull. You guys are experts. And here's one way of doing the with yarn in front. You pull the loop just a little bit to loosen it up, and then with your hook, take the loop off the peg, take the working yarn, put it behind that peg, and then you're going to put the loop back on that peg. You're going to remount it. And this leaves your working yarn under that loop. That's what you want. That's the with yarn in front. It's a 2-stitch pattern, so you're going to repeat that. You're going to do your purl 1 again. And here's another way of doing that with yarn in front. Again, pull on your loop to loosen it. Take it off the peg. Take the working yarn and put it behind the peg. And then take your hook and unravel that E-wrap. So you kind of like turn the loop around and it unravels it and makes it easier for you to put on. Alright, and then again you're going to do the purl 1. I actually don't like either one of those methods for doing the slip one with yarn in front. So let's finish off this purl, and then I'm going to show you in real time how to do that one, and then on the next one I'm going to slow it down for you, okay? So again, you're going to, like always, pull on the loop to loosen it up a little bit, scoop up the yarn, and then you're just going to take that loop and put it behind the tip of your peg and then pull on your yarn. And you see how it went underneath that loop? You didn't have to take the loop off of the peg. What you did was just take it behind. So this is my favorite way. Let's see that again, up close. So you should have already done your purl stitch and you're ready for your slip one with yarn in front. You take your hook and you scoop up the yarn as if you were going to do another purl stitch. But you take that new loop that you created and you take it behind the head of your peg and then just pull on the yarn and it will slip behind the existing loop. Hope that makes sense. So you see it that it's here and it's loose and it's doing what it's supposed to do, and then you go and then you're going to do that stitch pattern again, which is the purl 1, slip 1 with yarn in front. And you'll find that if you use this technique of scooping up the yarn as if you were going to do a purl, take it behind the peg and then pull, this pattern will go way faster and much easier. At the end of row 9, you guys, with the odd number loom, you will do a knit stitch right here. And for row 10, you guys already know how to E-wrap knit the row. So row 11 is basically the reverse of row 9. You're going to now slip one first and then purl one. So to slip one, you're going to put the yarn underneath the existing loop, and with your hook, you're going to scoop it up as if you were doing a purl stitch. But you're going to take that new loop that you create and you're just going to slip it back behind the tip of the peg and pull, and then we're back to then the purl 1, because we continue to do a 2-stitch pattern. This time it's a slip 1, purl 1, and so we go to the next peg, and I do have my pegs marked. It just helps me follow the pattern. So everywhere I have a little stitch marker, I'm going to do a slip 1 on this particular row, and then where I don't, I'm going to go ahead and do a purl stitch. For those of you with an odd number loom, don't forget to knit the last peg. After that, you're going to repeat rows 8 through 11 8 more times for a total of 43 rows for a hat that is 8 inches long. The next 2 rows are 44 and 45, and all you have to do is E-wrap the row. To make things easier, I'm going to use the gathered method to cast off, but a better option is the hacked flat drawstring. Take the working yarn and you're going to wrap it around the loom 1.5 times at least, and then cut your yarn. Get a needle, or you can do this with your hook if you like. This just I prefer to do it this way. And then from the bottom, you're going to feed the needle up and through. The aim is to get the working yarn through each loop. So whether you're using a hook or your needle, you need to do this. So if you're using a hook, you're going to come from the top and go upward as if you were doing a purl stitch, and just keep going throughout the whole loom till you get back to that last one. And then with your hook, you're going to remove all of the loops off the peg. Now pull on your string, and with your needle you're going to sew in a circular manner over through these cast on stitches. And as you can see, I skip some every now and then, and that's in order to reduce the size of this opening. So I sew through some in a circular manner and pull on my drawstring as I do this to make sure that I close the hat. Now I'm going to the inside of it in order to make a knot. You can leave this on this side and cut it, or take it back out if you plan to attach a pom-pom with it. I'm not going to do that. My pom-pom actually is different, so I put it back to the inside and cut it. I'm attaching this little snap that works with the pom-pom so that I can remove the pom-pom when the hat is being washed. And so I'm just going to use some regular nylon yarn, which is like extra sturdy, and attach this snap to it. Now for video purposes, I'm only going to sew it a few times. Once the video is done, I'll add a few more stitches to it, and if you're using this kind of pom-pom, you should too, so that it stays attached. And once I'm done, I just basically snap the pom-pom in place. Next, personally, I like to tighten my cast on stitches, and so that's what I'm going to do here, and I'll give you a video on how to do this in the description. You don't need to do this. In fact, the hat looks pretty good the way it is. I just prefer for these stitches to be a little tighter. Then I cut the edge off this yarn, attach it to my metal needle, and I'm going to go ahead and finish off my brim right here on the edge, and then take my yarn and I'm going to feed it through the inside in order to weave in this end nice and neatly so it's hidden. And here we go, just feed it through a few of the little knots. And normally I will go upward like 3 or 4 of these, and then I go over and take the yarn back down again. I feel like it secures it better. And when I'm done, I just pull on my string and cut it. And there you go, done. Enjoy your pretty hat. Thank you for watching. Remember to share this video because it helps me a lot. And come back and loom with me.